recorded live.
All right. Well, welcome everybody to the call tonight. This is our regularly scheduled 8 p.m. Eastern call Wednesday night. Before we get started, I want to just be sure that everybody listening to the call knows and understands what this forum is all about, and that it's a free gathering of people to discuss ideas. It's a group of men and women who are standing upon the land. We're here because we love America, which is one nation under God, and we're here to talk about how we can make it a stronger nation by talking about the truth. Because the good book says that you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. So, let me tell you what we do not do on this call. We are not bar card attorneys. We don't give any legal advice. We don't give any tax advice because we're not tax accountants. We're not licensed to practice law. However, if you have a question and you'd like to discuss and see what we would do, we'd encourage you to formulate your question in such a way that you'd want to know what we would do if we were in a similar situation. And if we do answer that question, please be advised that we are not telling you to do it. We're not telling you not to do it. We're just sharing what we would do if we were in that situation. And if you do decide to do something that you hear on this call, or you hear on another call, or you read on the internet, or you got something off of Yahoo groups, do us all a favor. Make sure that you own the information, and do not blame someone else because their process didn't work or their document didn't work. If you do decide to do something, you need to take full responsibility and make it yours, because if you sign it and you put your name on it, you put your energy behind it, it's yours. So with that said, I'd like to open it up tonight. If you have a question, go ahead and hit *8. I'm gonna mute everybody out here, and then I'll just bring you back in. I'll keep my eye out for you, Rita. All right, Rita, you're back with us. Go ahead with your question.
Oh, hello, everyone. I'm Rita from Georgia. I have a property. A property that is scheduled to be sold during a foreclosure on September 1st, Tuesday morning. I have filed a commercial affidavit of truth, an international claim within Admiralty. I submitted a bonded promissory note to the lender, Aurora Loan Services. Of course, no response whatsoever. They are, all indications suggest that they are moving forward with the foreclosure. A friend of mine suggested that I file a revocation of power of attorney, fire the trustee, and remove the beneficiary, transfer that authority to myself or a trust or something like that. I'm totally unfamiliar with this. Wanted to know what you guys might do if you were faced with this situation.
This is Stephen. Let me ask you a quick question. Have you ever filed bankruptcy yet?
No, I haven't. I'm trying to avoid that. I know everybody's telling me to do that because that would definitely halt it, but at the same time, it's going to cause me a lot of other problems on the other side.
What's that?
Well, I've just got it's. It's going to shut down some credit that I desperately need, actually.
So your credit's already ruined if you're in foreclosure.
No, exactly. No, it is. But what I'm saying is a friend of mine did that to save her properties, and the little bit of credit that she had that she was relying on, I mean, they just shut her cards down. I mean, her hands are tied. So I'm just trying to find out if there's a way possibly without doing the bankruptcy thing.
Hey, Rita?
Yes.
This is Matthew. Are you in a judicial or non-judicial foreclosure state?
Non-judicial.
Okay. The reason I ask, I'm also in a non-judicial foreclosure state. I found a website called bobplimpton.com, and that gentleman has a lot of really neat information on his website. And they claim to be able to stop every foreclosure, but it has to be judicial foreclosure states. Unfortunately, I found that out. Otherwise, I was going to share that information with the callers tonight.
Okay.
I've contacted them. I've actually spoke with Bob several times on the phone. He's down in Florida, and I got the information from Harold, as a matter of fact. And I've not heard back regarding Minnesota yet. I'm kind of surprised that they haven't contacted me. Bob is assuring me that they're going to contact me. But anyways, I just thought I'd ask you that question.
Okay. Okay. So has anyone anyone had any experience with filing the revocation of power of attorney and removing the trustee and the beneficiary? Any comments?
You filed an estoppel?
I don't know what that is.
It's short for stopping the sale, but that's what it is. Where did you file? You mean you recorded these?
Right. Yes.
At the county recorder?
That is correct.
Do you have certified copies of it?
I beg your pardon?
Do you have certified copies of what you recorded?
Yes.
And is that what you sent to the bank?
Yes, I sent to the bank and to their attorney, along with
Did you
the
do it through
promissory note. I'm sorry.
Did you do it through notarial process?
Yes.
Now, what did you send to them?
The commercial affidavit of truth, the international claim within the Admiralty. It's like a 20-page document.
Right. I know what you're talking about.
Right. I did that.
That has no effect. I'm sorry, but it doesn't.
It doesn't? Okay.
No.
Okay.
It's all valid, but they don't understand the animal. They don't even think they're an animal piece. So that's a whole other.
Okay.
But the affidavit of truth, that could have some leverage if you was to come back. If you was to take that process to default, get a private judgment, and then come back into court for a declaratory or summary judgment on the grounds that there's no issue of fact and no controversy based on their silence on the affidavit of truth. But that's going to take you some time.
Right.
And it may take you past the September 1st.
Right.
The first suggestion with regards to the reorganization of the trust, if I was in your shoes, I would take advantage of that, at least trying to get that power of attorney. Everything you said, but I would add one more thing in there. That's if you don't want to keep the trust there, is to collapse it by rescinding the signatures also.
Okay, now, all right, if you could just give me step by step, okay, revoke power of attorney.
Okay, I would do it in this order based on the basis of the fact that you're currently considered either a trustee or co-trustee of the trust.
That is correct.
The first thing is you want to resign as a trustee.
Oh, I do?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
See, as a trustee, you cannot give orders to a beneficiary. Right now, the bank is the beneficiary.
Okay, wait, because so am I the trustor grantor?
To a degree, but with regards to the actual so-called loan, they have you designated as a co-trustee and surety, or the accommodation party.
Oh, they do, okay.
Yes. And
all right. So I need to resign as trustee.
Correct.
Okay, that's number one.
Then,
Harold.
Yes, sir.
Can I cut in? This is Tim. How are you, by the way?
Not too bad yourself, sir.
Good. Can I ask, is it not important to default the bank with some type of administrative remedy before she, by staying in honor, if you follow me? The bank saying she owes money, and does she not need to stay in honor and conditionally accept their offer, and then somehow put them into administrative remedy and default them before she can...
She doesn't have time, Tim. This is Tuesday.
September 1st is right around the corner. And number two, I think she did start the process.
Well, okay. I did submit the commercial affidavit of truth. I did submit a bonded promissory note. So I did accept their offer, conditionally. They have not responded.
Okay, so
the bonded promissory note. Go ahead, Harold.
Okay,
that's fine. That's what I was trying to find out. If she gets a notary protest to that, then that's she's gotten the ball rolling. And that's what I was trying to find out.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, with regards to the bonded promissory note, because you're in trustee status and based on the indenture of the trust, which is primarily your deed of trust, it would only allow you in most cases to pay with Federal Reserve notes, certified check, or a regular money order. And as a result of that, they can't accept anything. Well, they'll accept it, but they won't credit the account.
Say that one more time. That just blew me away. You said because of my trustee status?
Yes, number one.
Okay.
And number two, based on the indenture of the trust, what it calls for, the trust calls for Federal Reserve notes, in most cases that is. Every now and then there's an exception. Federal Reserve notes, certified check, or a regular money order. And as a result of that, that's all they will accept. So you can send in a bonded promissory note. They will take it gladly. They will monetize it. They will enjoy the fruits thereof, but they won't credit the account.
Because,
so now when you go in to reorganize the trust,
okay,
it's another element that you can add into to the indenture is that it can now accept commercial instruments.
You do that by expressing the trust, correct, Harold?
Correct, and then you also got to express that provision.
Okay,
well,
now,
yeah.
Please talk to me like I'm a 6-year-old, okay? What does that mean to express the trust?
There's only two kinds of trusts.
Implied or expressed, but they do have constructive trust also, but it's basically implied or expressed trust.
Okay.
Isn't a constructive trust an implied trust?
I think you're right.
Yeah. I think Gene Keating was talking about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
how do I resign as a trustee so that they can accept my BPN?
With a declaration.
With a declaration.
Okay.
And I would suggest it in successive order. You know, they don't have to be elaborate statements, but sufficient enough to get the job done. So you resign, number one, as trustee.
Okay, resign as trustee. Okay.
Some people like to give a reason for it, but I don't think it's 100% necessary.
Right.
Then number two, and very forcefully, revoke all power of attorneys regarding the mortgage. If the current so-called lender is not the beginning, you've got to go all the way back to the beginning and include all the account numbers up until the present.
Thank God it's been the same account number.
Okay, so that means you got one trust. Okay, that's good because a lot of
the same account number. Now we started out with Sendent Mortgage Company at 3000 Leaden Hall Road. Now it's PHH Mortgage at the same address.
Right.
So I believe it's just a name change that has occurred, but the account number has remained the same.
Okay, all right, so that's good. So you basically got one trust there. No court action has started, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so basically all you're dealing with is that particular trust.
Make sure you say in all agents and assigned so that it includes whatever parties, whether it's a DBA or what. You said that there was a name change.
Okay,
right.
Okay, I'm writing this down. All agents.
And guys, no offense, but I'm just telling you, she's not going to have time to do this. You're going to have to file bankruptcy, ma'am, Rita.
Really?
Because
it's a remedy that you can use.
It's a remedy, but you can do this afterwards. File a Chapter 13 because otherwise, you're not going to have time to get this out. Tomorrow's Thursday. They won't get it
until Monday.
Huh?
She got until Monday. The day is what? Wednesday.
Well, what Steve is saying is correct.
Gone.
What Steve is saying is correct. If you file a Chapter 13, you will stop it cold in its tracks. You don't have to necessarily go through with it, but you can use it to stop them. And then you'll have plenty of time. It'll give you some breathing room to get this document perfected.
Yeah, you don't have to confirm. You don't have to confirm the bankruptcy. You don't have to go through with the bankruptcy. You can. And here's a trick.
Okay.
You can go in and say, "Hey, I need to make installment payments on this," and I know because I helped a friend through this.
Okay.
He made installment payments on it, and guess what? They can't do anything until you made all the payments. So if it's $250, I forget what it was, but make $50 payment, and make another $50 payment and say, well, when are you? The clerk might get upset about it, but say, well, this is all I can afford right now.
Right. So that'll give
they have to stop, and it will stop it cold. And then they can't proceed until all the payments are in.
Good grief. Okay.
We're assuming that the court is going to agree to whatever workout plan that you have as far as monthly payments.
They normally go with it. I have never seen one denied. As long as you are $45 and above, they'll go ahead and
yeah. So pay $50, and then now you just all yourself all this breathing time.
And that's usually about a 60-month payback schedule typically.
No, I think you got 6 months? No, I forget. I just did it recently. I forget the time. They do have a time limit on it.
Yeah.
For the final payment.
But
anyways,
say it's 3 months. Say it's 3 months. You just bought yourself, 90 days, 120 days that you didn't have before.
Okay.
And that would give you time to do your administrative process.
Okay, to really do it and perfect it.
Steve, are you going to tell her about Bridgeport bankruptcy?
No, you can. You did it, but
if you want to save some money, Rita, you can use this website. I used it. It was very effective. It was very easy to use.
Okay.
The company's called BridgeportBankruptcy.com.
Bridgeport Bankruptcy. Mm-hmm.
It's an online service. They prepare all your docs for you, and the docs are prepared based on the information that you provide to them. So they will spit out exactly what you give them. I did this. I stopped the bankruptcy, or I stopped the foreclosure cold in its tracks. I ended up going Chapter 7, and it was discharged back in April, and the bank and the mortgage company's back at it again. But I bought myself 6 months.
What? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, December till now. I think it costs $150.
Okay.
They'll tell you it's $250, but they have a special going for your county. If you sign up right now, it's only $200. But if you get a credit card, it's another $50 off. They have all these little promotions, and then I think we ended up paying about $150.
Now, I would counter that with, if you can read and follow instructions, to get it started is not that difficult. It's not that difficult. So if the 150 is a problem, because they'll give you all the forms you need. All you got to do is go down to the bankruptcy court, ask for the packet. They'll have all the forms together and the instructions. So you have two options there.
That is true. You could go one or two options. Now, that $150 does not include your filing fee, and that's usually, I think I paid $300 here in Minnesota. $295 plus.
It's around $295.
Yeah.
Hey guys, can I ask a couple of questions?
Yeah.
Who is it?
It's Tim.
Oh, hey Tim, go ahead.
Let me just ask. Did she already try and pay with a bonded promissory note? Did I hear that right?
That is correct.
Okay, and they sent it. They dishonored it.
Well, they haven't acknowledged it, but that was Aurora. I have two. Let me tell you what Bank of America did. I sent it to Ken Vecchione, the CFO. Mm-hmm. I received the green card back, about a week ago. I got the green card back signed by Luther Thomas. Great. Well, yesterday, 2 days ago rather, I received my entire package back. I sent it registered, certified, return receipt, all taped, all the seams taped in brown. I got it back. Of course, green card's missing because I have the green card. They had return to sender, cannot locate, improper address, all this other business, all scribbled all over my package.
Okay, that's fine. Let me ask my second question.
Oh, well, that's not fine because that's fraud.
No, exactly.
No, I understand
That's what I was going to say, because what happened is on the back where it was all sealed, they ripped it open. Because I haven't opened it, I don't know if they pulled the bond out, but then they taped it back with Scotch tape. So that's total mail fraud.
Well, actually, they dishonored. They refused your payment.
No, but
and under UCC, Harold, you're going to have to help me here. 3-604, is that right? 3-60.
No, 3603.
603.
Yeah, 602.
Okay, that refusal. If you refuse payment, then there's discharge.
Right. Is that the debt?
So you've just settled your debt. That balance is zero now.
Well, none of this, folks, this all sounds good, but none of it works because there's no QSIP number on those things, and none of it has ever worked.
It works because she has a certified receipt saying that she's mailed the payment.
No, there's no QSIP on it. They looked at it, they saw that it didn't have a QSIP number on it, and they returned it.
Yeah, but she said it said mail.
No, the way they returned it to her was not a proper return. They did a return process as if they never opened it.
Right.
See, that's the difference.
And she has the proof with the green card that they did receive it.
And signed for it.
Correct.
Okay, well then she needs to go to federal court and sue him. That's the only way that you're going to handle it. And then good luck.
But Harold, he hasn't established yet her status as beneficiary and hasn't expressed the trust, so they're not going to
get a chance to finish that.
Yeah, they're not going to credit her account with that payment anyway.
No.
Well, they'll never credit the account.
Yeah, because even at UCC citation that you state would not overcome the trust.
Okay, so is that the huge hurdle and issue that everybody's having when they try to discharge their mortgage? Is that the issue?
It's because you're a trustee and they don't have.
I'm sorry?
I was just going to say, Harold, there's nothing in the implied trust that states that they have to credit your account with a bonded promissory note. If you go back and look at
they normally only ask for Federal Reserve notes, certified check, or money order.
Exactly.
And that's all they're required to accept.
But now, as a trustor or grantor, if I restructure things, I mean, don't I or doesn't every grantor trustor have the authority and the power to change the trust?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
That is correct.
So
yes,
that has to happen first.
Yes.
Correct.
You have to posture yourself correctly before you can go in there and start demanding that they make payment with your BPN.
Oh, my God.
Well, it's because they implied what the trust indenture was because you never expressed it, which, of course, none of us did because we didn't know it even existed.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what implied means. But you really never knew about it.
They construed it.
To your disadvantage.
Now, exactly.
I'd encourage you to go back and read your note line by line, word for word. And also if they have more, if they do mortgages or whatever is deed of trust, because they're pretty telling in there what they allow and that you agree to when you sign it. That's why Harold is saying you need to rescind your signature on those documents.
Yeah, if you don't want
by the notice of right to cancel or notice of whatever, everybody calls it something different, but with that document.
Right. But the first thing you do have to establish, and this is one of the things I believe happened in Tappert's process, because she was getting initial success, but then the banks were coming back. First of all, she didn't establish the grantor status.
Right.
She did not revoke the position of trustee regarding herself. And she kept the bank in there as the beneficiary.
Well, wait a minute. Okay.
So if you want to stop everything, you would definitely have to take the bank out.
Okay, so remove bank as beneficiary.
Put yourself there.
Remove bank as beneficiary. Now, is it always the bank that's a beneficiary? How does MERS play into this? Because I see their name all the time.
MERS is not a beneficiary. They don't have any interest in anything. They're just there for clerical purposes, basically only.
Well, not only that, but they also are there so that the banks don't have to pay mortgage registration tax every time they sell that note.
Yeah.
So they're keeping.
Way to get around taxes.
Yeah, they get around tax exactly.
Okay, so remove bank as beneficiary.
Well, what you would do, you would remove the bank or known and unknown beneficiaries. That will clear everything.
And I don't have to state them by name. Remove known and unknown beneficiaries. Okay.
Guys, is it too early for us to upload maybe a declaration onto the group files?
I think we have to discuss that with Dave first.
Yeah, we have to approve that through Dave, and we have to find out who's willing to provide that document to upload it.
Because remember that this whole process is, quite new to a lot of people.
Oh my God, this is brand new. This is blowing me away.
And it's still, for some people, it's still a work in progress. So that's probably one reason why you don't see a lot of docs around right now.
Yeah, true.
Okay, so but
even
this
in my own
step
work,
one, right?
I'm I'm constantly updating as I go along, even in my own docs. So I'm not comfortable right now to publish.
So Harold, are these steps outlined on the website?
I don't think they are.
No.
Okay, so they're not outlined. Okay, but all right, so I'm handwriting everything.
Well, this is also being recorded, so you can go back and.
Oh, that's good. Okay, so first of all, resign as trustee.
That's
Secondly, forcefully revoke power of attorney.
All power of attorneys.
All.
Is that plural, Harold? Attorneys or attorney, or what is it?
Well, it actually should only be one on an account, but you never know if the original had a power of attorney, gave somebody else power of attorney.
Right.
So all power of attorneys, and you could put the S in brackets in case it does apply, and all known and unknown. Implied or expressed.
Okay. Wait a minute. Let me write this down. All known and unknown, implied or expressed. Okay. So that's 1, 2. And then 3, remove bank as beneficiary and replace the beneficiary with myself.
Yep, you would declare.
Oh, declare. Okay.
It's all a declaration.
Okay, declaration. And this is something that I draft myself.
Yep.
Okay.
You got an email address?
I sure do. Are you ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, it's R. James, James.
James?
Yes.
Okay.
1908.
1908.
At gmail.com.
I will give you mine, but every time I give up my email address, I get a ton of emails. So I'll contact you, and then I can review what you're doing.
Rita, where do you live?
In Georgia, non-judicial state.
Okay.
And it's rough there too.
Oh my God, they move so quickly.
I think only Texas is faster.
You think? I don't know.
No, I think Texas is 21 days.
Oh my God.
I think you're 28 days.
Yeah, we are. I mean, it's hyperspeed. Hyperspeed. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Oh,
all right. Well, we should give. Let's move to another caller, maybe. And we're hoping we're helping you.
Well, no.
Rita. So we're gonna.
Wait
Harold will help you all the way. He's a great guy.
Wait a minute. We want to give all the steps, and it could be beneficial to other callers also.
Oh, okay.
Agreed.
So
Agreed.
We don't want to go halfway. Okay. So you did the resignation of trustee status. You revoked the power of attorneys. Okay, and then you declare your grantor beneficiary status.
Say that one more time because my phone beeped.
You would declare your grantor beneficiary status.
Declare grantor beneficiary status, okay?
And you have to give some type of basis for that. The majority of what I've seen is they say based on the SS5 application for Social Security and the subsequent Social Security card, which set up the Sesta K Trust. And basically all your public trusts are based off of that Sesta K Trust. And and that came by way of what happened in 1933 under Chapter 48, 48 Stat 112, and Public Law 7310.
310, okay. All right. So
now this declaration will be deemed a notice of information, and there has to be a statement of information that follows. That means the proof to support that you are indeed the grantor. All right, so then you will do the removal of trustees and beneficiary, all known and unknown.
remove, okay. I'm sorry, say that one more time.
You will remove all known and unknown trustees and beneficiaries in the implied trust. And you will state that you will be the only beneficiary until further notice. And now this is a time where you can appoint a trustee, because you're going to still need a trustee, because by you removing yourself and removing all the previous trustees, the trust is not complete. So you got to appoint a trustee. If you was in a judicial state, a lot of people would appoint the judge and the attorney for the bank. In this case, you can probably just appoint the attorney for the bank as a trustee.
Now, why would I appoint the attorney for the bank as the trustee?
Because you would use him to settle and close the account.
That's what the trustee's job is.
Like that of Timothy Geithner. How about that?
There you go.
Okay.
Okay, and then you will do a revision of the existing trust indenture, and that's where you will allow it to be able to accept
negotiable instruments.
Other instruments, correct.
Oh, my goodness. Well, who knew?
And then you can order to release liens, if the liens against the property, which you will have the trustee to do. And this is something that Christian has suggested, that you accept for value all documents and instruments in the case, the promissory note, the mortgage, or in this case, the deed of trust, all other contracts, instruments, processes, anything that was involved in that case, you would accept for value, return for full credit. And that, in effect, would make you the holder in due course of the case. Now that's essentially the whole thing. Now you can get creative and put in self-executing agreements and a few other things to ensure that the trustee does its job. You can put in cease and desist orders with regards to the previous trustees and beneficiaries acting without the POA, things of that nature. But that's the bare skeleton of what you will have to work with.
Oh, my God. Okay. Wow, thank you. Now, does this process only apply to mortgages, or does this apply to other types of debt, secured or unsecured, regarding this trust setup and relationship?
Well,
all interrelated.
Yeah, what we found out is just about everything they're doing in the corporate world, is done through trust.
Rita.
Yes.
You probably didn't know this, but if I had a pen and I gave that pen to you, we just created a trust between us where I'm the grantor and you're the trustee, and you are holding that pen for me as the beneficiary for someday I get that pen back from you. So that's how far this goes. It's not in just, Harold is saying yes, it's in the corporate, but it's in every aspect of life, this whole trustee, grantor process. Gene Keating talks about that.
Ain't kidding. Okay. So even like with my credit card debt or business credit, I have to go through this process, or everyone should go through this process, so that they can, how did you say it, revise the existing trust.
Yep. That's the key. Now, what we're working on is to ensure enforcement. So that's. Remember, I said this is a work in progress.
Right.
So we're not the expert on it yet.
Enforcement is the key, because the public officials and all these corporations will not lift a finger until their very job is at stake. We found that out with county recorders. They won't do anything unless their job is threatened, and then they'll acquiesce, or judges for that matter.
Oh,
Tim, you there?
Yes.
Thank
Okay,
you.
now you wanted to say something before we finish with her?
Are we throwing a notice of right to cancel anywhere in there?
Oh, no, the rescind the signature. Yeah, you're right. That's if you want. Now, this is, you have to be very careful with this one, because when you rescind the signature, you effectively close the trust, because all your signatures on those contracts are now deemed lifted. There's no more contract, so there's no more trust. So one has to be careful in making that determination whether you want to close it down or not. And number two, you don't know if there are outstanding obligations or bonds that are out there that you don't even know nothing about, that will come back to the beneficiary for tax purposes. So there are some people who are teaching this. They're basically saying be careful with it. You may want to leave it open, and so you can close out everything before you collapse the trust, which I think may be a better way, in my personal opinion. Because if you collapse the trust and then all of a sudden you get this huge bill you don't know nothing about and don't know what to do with. Because believe me, they attach a lot on the back of these so-called loans. And then when you put in that 1099-A and you collapse the trust on the public side, you're creating havoc in the financial world. They hate that 1099-A.
Goodness, this is incredible.
Huh?
What about... Oh, go ahead.
I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you to all of you. Thank you so much.
Okay. The only other thing I was going to add is any total reconveyance or warranty deeds or anything like that as in the end.
Oh, yeah, that has to go on because she's in deed of trust. That's correct.
Now, I have a security deed. I know I keep hearing deed of trust, but the only thing that the documents that I have are security deed, warranty deed, the promissory note, the adjustable rate note, the truth in lending statement, but I don't have anything that says the words deed of trust.
But I know that Georgia is a deed of trust state. It's not a mortgage state.
Okay. Then is my security deed the deed of trust?
I believe so.
Okay.
Now, do they have a trustee listed in the deed?
Oh, my God. I've torn that thing apart, and I've even had someone else read it. And, no, it's not specified. It doesn't say, it talks about me being the grantor.
Right.
And then MERS being the do they even use the term grantee? I'm looking at it right now.
So if they're the grantee, they would be the trustee.
Okay, it says borrower is the grantor under the security instrument. MERS is a separate corporation that is acting solely as a nominee for lender and lender's successors and assigns. grantee under the security agreement. Yes.
So they're the trustee in the trust then.
Oh, MERS is.
Yeah, that based on that document.
Okay. Yeah, it says MERS is the grantee under the security agreement.
Hey, Harold, I don't want to throw a wrench in this thing, but when I listened to Gene Keating, he said when you record the warranty deed or deed of trust or whatever with the county recorder's office, he said you're contracting with the county and you're giving your property over to them.
That is correct. That's registration. Anything you register, you gave title away.
So, I mean, that really threw me for a loop. I know my friend Jason's trying to get stuff recorded in our local county for his house that he's fighting to keep. And I thought, well, they won't even record his stuff. And I'm thinking, why does he even want to record?
But you have to have some kind of
proof of ownership
in their system, even if it's colorable ownership, because basically what you're getting is a certificate of the deed. You're not getting the actual allodial title. So even for that, you got to have it recorded for the world to see. Now,
there's no way around it.
Unless you go,
land grant.
Pure Trust chattel deed, which is recorded through the and
recorded through where?
Probate court.
A Pure Trust?
Don't know.
A Pure Trust chattel deed through probate court?
A trust deed with chattel deed. One for the land and one for the house. I forget which order is which, but it's actually two deeds, one for their house and one for the land, chattel and trust.
So what happens to the last recorded deed at the county then? Once you've done this where you've conveyed it into trust and then you've gone through probate court to...
I have to get more information on that. Matter of fact, I was talking to a guy last night about it because I was thinking about Jason's situation, but he was basically saying that if a person is not aware of all what's going on and can't stand up to the process, you don't want to go down that road.
Right.
You're actually pulling it out of the system, the corporate system,
right?
And you're going on the land.
Now you're operating privately instead of corporately.
Rather than publicly, correct.
Publicly in the corporate venue. Yep. Yeah. Once you do that, you got to be really very. I don't want to use the word careful, but they'll recontract with you, and you'll be right back where you were.
That's why you say you got to know who you are and what you're dealing with, so you can stand on the process.
Wow.
Because you can put stipulations in your docs that no verbal recontract will be honored. All contract offers must be in writing only. So therefore, if they try to recontract you verbally, because that's how they trick us mostly through verbal.
Yep.
Then that will be deemed void by your own declaration. So if they're coming back to recontract, it has to be in writing.
Okay.
That'll give you time to respond back in writing.
Right.
Or refuse it for cause or accept it for value.
That's something I have started to add in my docs. Because I kept hearing about this recontract. And I said, well, you could defeat that by putting a clause in all verbal offers or presentments are not considered, and they will have to be in writing only.
And then every response you give them is, I stand on my paperwork.
There you go.
Well, should we move on to the next caller?
Okay, is Rita still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay, I just sent you an email with the novation thing, so...
Great.
Get back up in the chair, Rita.
Okay.
So you got my email now.
Okay, wonderful. I do appreciate it.
All right, our next caller is Bob. Bob, you're unmuted. Can you hear us?
Yes. A couple of weeks ago, we talked about filing a suit against the IRS to get them to complete a Form 4490 proof of claim. and the gentleman who was talking said all the claims against the United States go to federal claims court, or the second place that one could go is District Court of the United States, not the United States District Court. So then I thought, okay, I'll look up on Google and I'll find out where these things are. They don't list them that way. They list them as United States District Court, like for the Southern District of New York or something, and I could not find anything that said Federal Claims Court, but I found Court of Federal Claims, I'm pretty sure. And so explain, if you were trying to file such a suit, what does it mean to say go to Federal Claims Court? Because I can't find that. Is that just the form of the paperwork that you pull the caption at the top of the paper? Or, and I'll let you answer the question because I think you know what I'm trying to ask.
Where's MJ when you need him?
Oh.
Well, from what I understand, the court that you were speaking of that you can't find is an alleged Article 3 court. Now, I hear that there's supposed to be one in Washington, D.C. I even heard there was supposed to be one in Delaware. I have no proof to either. So all the other courts or corporate courts, which fall under statute, the court you're looking for, it would be a common law court.
Oh.
And so I just mentioned the other day that that somebody found the court in Delaware, and then Rod Class and his group over at AIV Radio, they're dealing with the court in D.C. right now. So we'll see what happens with that. But that mythical Article 3 court, there, if it is in existence, there's only a few of them. I even heard that the Supreme Court of the United States actually is a common law court too, on the upstairs. That's hardly ever been used. Most people don't know that they have common law jurisdiction also. But as far as that, I can't comment.
Can somebody email MJ and ask him to answer the question and maybe post it on the website for us all?
Or you can write him yourself.
Oh.
MichaelJamesAnthony@yahoo.com.
Okay.
He gives out his email publicly, so I feel confident in giving it to you.
Thank you. That's all I had.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you.
All right. Let's move on to the next one here. East Nebraska. Can you hear us? You've been unmuted. You have a question. Can you hear us, East Nebraska?
Yeah.
There you are.
Hey, it's Kevin.
Hey, Kevin.
Just have a question for anyone on the line tonight. If they've had any experience, success with A for V, R for V to the good old IRS people. If they, what process was used and what they would do in this at this time that's been working that anybody might know of.
I can take this one, you guys.
Ed.
From what I understand and what I hear, Jack Smith's process is probably one of the better ones right now, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong. There's also, it's called Rule of Law Radio, and there is a guy that did a archive on there named Scott, and if you go to that website, you'll see the Rule of Law radio show, and you should be able to pull up some archives. I think it's 8/13 is the date, There's a guy named Scott who's very, very similar to Jack's process. A lot of things that have been going around are no more typed forms. Red is not the color that they're having the most success with the IRS. It's blue. Not doing the slanted banker's acceptance style writing anymore, just straight across the page. Some things like that is what you'll hear probably from both ends of that. So there's some sources you can go to get a little bit more information.
And where are they sending it to? Whatever the party was that sent it to them by notary, or how are they doing that?
Ask that question again.
Other than notary presentment, where are they sending the process to? Just whichever office sent it to them to me in the first place, or are they directing it to a different specific office location?
No, you return it to whoever sent it to you. And I've also heard that, because I'm actually in the midst of, I'm about to do some stuff with the Department of Revenue in my state. If it's state presentments, then I'm told that you would use actually Miss Medlock with the IRS to take care of your state issues. But if it is IRS issues, you're to use, from what I'm told, whoever sends you the presentment. That's who you're sending it back to.
Now, I actually sent something to Miss Medlock in February, and she returned it to me.
Well, I sent $30 million to Miss Medlock, and she kept it.
Interesting.
Anyway.
Did it discharge anything?
No. No, it did not. Of course, we're talking about the declaration of, your grantor status, and that wasn't even a topic back then. So the other things with the A for V is they're using 1099As and standard form 28s as well with them, and with the handwritten money orders. And I'm hearing that there's a lot of success, and I'm anxious actually to try it myself, and I'll obviously fill everybody in to see if it works.
And on the handwritten money orders, you're putting pay to the order of with the social on the front, or are you using the bond number from the back of the card?
It's social on the front, from what we've heard, the latest info.
So it may not be right.
Also, the Rule of Law guy's tapes, his name is what? Paul, not Scott.
And it's
correct.
814.
It's 814, and his name is Paul.
It was a very...
All right. Thank you.
No problem.
All right. Let's see here. Southeast Ohio. You have been unmuted. Go ahead with your question.
Yes, my name is Cheryl, and I have basically had the same situation as that other lady, and I'm just wondering if you could take my email down. I didn't catch everything. They're having a sheriff's sale on my house, and I paid it with a bond. I had Charles Elliott pay it with a bond, and in fact, I sent them a letter saying with the copy of the bond and everything. But based on what you guys are telling me, that's not going to help. What you told that lady. Hello?
You there, Harold?
Yes.
Yes, I'm here. Actually, I was working.
I'm sorry?
If you're out of time again, I'd recommend the same thing that we did.
Well, I have more time than her. I have the 18th of September as a sheriff's sale.
And what's your name, ma'am?
Cheryl.
Cheryl, are you a member of the Yahoo group, the Free Americans?
Yes, I am.
Have you been able to go out and find the link under the link section for the recorded calls for our calls on Wednesday nights?
Yes.
So you know that this call is recorded and you'll be able to get it after the call tonight?
Yes, but if I do what they say, if there's any way I can get somebody to check my work to make sure it's done, I'm absolutely totally ignorant when it comes to typing all this stuff up. But I'm going to do my best, and I'd like if there's any way I can get somebody to check it over to make sure I've done all. It looks good.
Why don't you give us your email address, Cheryl?
It's CAT45414@yahoo.com.
Okay. The other thing I'd encourage you to do is send an email to thefreeamericans@yahoo.com.
Uh-huh.
That way we'll have, we'll have established a communication link between the two parties.
Okay, that will be great. I appreciate it.
Thefreeamericans, and that's plural, @yahoo.com.
Right, yeah, I'm already a member of that group, so.
Good. Okay.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, next one. I don't even know if I can pronounce this. Rhonda Ray? Can you hear us? You're unmuted.
Yes. If my brother, he's getting close to going in foreclosure. They haven't actually sent him any papers to go in, they're threatening foreclosure or threatening further action if he don't, pay up. So I was kind of wondering, like the last lady, if I just email the Free Americans at Yahoo, can I get some guidance on making the declaration of the expressing the trust?
I'll go ahead and send an email to that same the Free Americans email address.
Uh-huh.
And then, obviously, first come, first served basis based on time and the ability to review the documents. But yes, you certainly can send that over there.
Mm-hmm.
And what was your name again?
Rhonda.
Rhonda, okay. What state are you from, Rhonda?
Missouri.
Missouri, okay. Are they judicial or non-judicial?
I believe it's judicial.
Okay. I will tell you, you should also go out to Bob Plimpton's website. I'll spell that for you. It's B-O-B.
What? 1 second. B-O-B.
Plimpton is P-L-I-M-P. Plimpton, T-O-N. Bob Plimpton.
Okay.
.com.
.com.
Go out there right now. Make sure I give you the right address here. Just a sec here, Bob. He states that he works for the trust, and they can stop all judicial foreclosures. I'll keep researching and I'll get back to you on that. Send an email to the Free Americans asking for that email that website. I mean, that website I gave you is the website, but to get to the specific part of it regarding foreclosure, I'll have to do some more research on that. But if you send an email to thefreeamericans@yahoo.com, I'll be sure that I reply with that link.
Would it be easier for me to start writing up a declaration, or do you have some kind of something that, like you was talking earlier, you have to give reasons what you're basing on, that you're the grantor beneficiary, that status that you have to give. Is that correct? You have to give reasons to why you are that, based on the SS5 application, the SK Trust, and all that.
Right. If you decide to go down that path, then when you declare your status, your standing is exactly what Harold was saying earlier about the SS5 application with the evidence of Social Security card, which created the SSK Trust.
Now,
there was somebody that actually went back to saying that the original trust, master trust, if you want to call it that, is the Declaration of Independence. That was Christian down in Florida.
Yep.
And basically said you can accept that for value, and then basically all trusts come out of that. Then somebody took it even a step further and said that the master trust is actually the Word of God. because the trust that proceeds forth everything that we know in this world comes from the Word of God.
That's a really good point, Harold.
He granted it all.
That's correct. That is the trust covenant for the world.
He's the grantor, and our Savior's the trustee.
There you go.
How do you get a certified copy and accept that for value?
Well, being that is readily known in the public, you can basically just state it based on judicial notice or, whatever type of notice you're going to do. Same thing with the Declaration of Independence.
Well, the Scriptures expresses the trust in there, don't it?
Sure it does.
That's going to take a long time to A for V the whole Bible.
No, you wouldn't have to do it. I would just make a statement, and your signature would be enough to take it from there.
Yeah, but you don't have to A4V it to them because they're not the ones that's going to settle the account.
No.
And earlier you was talking about the problem with the county recorders, and plus when you record something, you're actually giving it to them. Now, is that a difference between the registration? Even the recording is giving it to them, huh?
Well, now recording and registration is a little different.
Uh-huh.
Because registration, you're basically giving them the title.
Right. Well, you was talking about if you record something in the county that you're giving it to them.
Well, when you're recording in the county, you're just making it known for public notice.
Right.
So there is a difference. So I don't know if you can split hairs there, because they may not accept it as a recording.
Right. And since that is only just public notice, just like a UCC's public notice, putting it in a paper would be public notice, right?
We've got another place.
Huh?
We've got another place we use called Get Noticed.
Get Noticed.
Get Noticed. Isn't that it, Matthew? Is it past tense?
No, it's a present tense.
Okay, getnoticed.com.
Yep.
Getnoticed.com.
Info.
Oh, is it .info?
It
right.
is. Yep.
You're right, Harold.
It's notice.info. You can set up an account there. Otherwise, Dave has an account set up if you want to file your docs through him. He can get you certified. And yeah, Harold's got one too. And for a lesser fee, you can use those services instead of signing up and having your own account.
Okay.
But if it was me, I'd also file an affidavit into the county showing that those documents, what documents are posted there with the web URL for public notice in the county.
Yes, an affidavit of recording.
Now, I know of another place that are you getting men familiar with the county at large?
To talk about Living Way?
Yeah.
Yes.
His
What's
paper
that
he set up, the Great Registry Post.
Yes, I heard about that.
And he can actually, his paper serves as the public notice. It's big enough, it's accessible to Google and all that. From the way he explained it, that it qualifies to be public notice. And he'll run it for 3 weeks consecutively, and he'll give you a certified letter that it was run.
Now, the question is whether the corporate, because remember, his whole thing is separate from the corporate structure. He's on the land, and they're in the imagination. Now, when they say public in their realm, they may not acknowledge the public on the land.
Well, I don't know if his newspaper's considered private because it's on the internet. It's because they was talking about whether it qualified or not to serve as public notice, and he was claiming that he did. I can't give all the reasons right now what he said, but basically that because yes, the world has access to that newspaper, and so therefore it is in the public. It's accessible on every computer to Google. It's if you Google it or whatever, it comes up, the Great Registry Post. So from what he said, that it did qualify. And then maybe what you could do is get the certificate from him that it ran 3 weeks public notice there, and then maybe take that certificate number down to the county recorder and record it.
Well, that may work. But I heard someone had problems even recording that affidavit of internet public notice. The recorder wouldn't accept it. So in some of these counties, they're really, really rough.
Harold, can't you file that as a registered mail to the county recorder to record it, and when they receive it, that's as good as recorded?
Yes, you can do that. You can put what I was discussing with somebody earlier today is create a notice and demand. You notice them of their duty, you notice them that is deemed filed and recorded based on the fact that it was sent registered mail with full payment, and then allow them to know what penalties will be imposed if they fail to do so, and put them in sort of like a self-executing agreement. So if they fail to do so, they'll be guilty of the clause, and that would be grounds for your lawsuit. We got to do something because they're just going crazy against us.
Well, it's all about enforcement.
Oh, I was going to say, I think we still have that. It's a file called Make Them Record. Didn't we put that up? It's got an enforcement process in it, I believe.
Where is that at? On the site?
I think so.
I didn't see that.
I'll go look.
What's your guys' site?
Matthew, do you have the address there? For Yahoo?
It's groups, GROUPS, groups.yahoo.com, / the word group, GROUP, / the Free Americans, plural, THEFREE, and then the word Americans, AMERICANS, the Free Americans. So the whole address is groups.yahoo.com, / group, / the Free Americans. Once you get onto that page, you need to create an account and or sign in if you already have a Yahoo account. And you will immediately be welcomed into the group. But you do have to have an account in order to view a lot of the information on that page.
Okay.
But I got to look and see if we have that out there about Make Them Record. Harold, didn't you say you read that and you said some of the information in there wasn't totally accurate?
Oh, is that the one that okay, I didn't know if that was on a group or not.
I don't know if I posted that out there, Tim.
Okay. I mean, if the info wasn't accurate, I'm glad you didn't.
Well, yeah, Harold had said he'd seen that floating around, and that it wasn't cited properly. Although I have not done any personal, studying on it to see where the inaccuracies are in it.
When you was talking about the declaration of the trust, how that's important to change how the payment's made in what we agreed to unknowingly in the beginning. A friend of mine has got a lawyer sending her a thing for an account that she had, a credit or a loan from Beneficial, and they sent her back. She didn't even ask for. Somebody tried to pay for it with a bonded promissory note. Of course, they're just ignoring that. But it's been about a couple months, and they sent her a thing saying, they just sent her a statement of the account payments that she made, and trying to say that's the verification of the account. But they also put in there a copy of the loan that she signed, which just has her signature on it. So she can accept that for value and express the trust, right?
What's that? What? Okay, I'm sorry. I
mean, she's got they sent her a copy of the original loan note, so she can accept that for value. The copy of the original loan note, and then declare or express the trust and redo it to where she's the grantor and maybe the attorney's the trustee and.
Okay. What document did she receive?
The attorney sent her a copy of the original loan that she signed, and a big old pile of a payment history on the account of her payments that she made.
Okay, yes, she can do the except for value, and she can express the trust at the same time.
That's what I was thinking. Except for value, the note that shows she's the grantor, right?
Correct.
And then when she's expressing the trust for the reasons why she's the going to be the beneficiary, that's the reasons because she's the grantor.
Right.
Because she's accepted that note for value. So, okay. Well, that's all I have, men. Thank you.
Quite welcome.
Okay. Let's see what we got here. Blackwater Frog. You've been unmuted.
Hey, guys. Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good.
Hey, I didn't actually have a question. I was going to expound a little bit on that filing thing earlier that y'all were talking about. The lady was chatting about the filing of docs at the county. I know in L.A. County, it's generally problematic to get anything filed unless it has something to do with real estate. So you guys can give me your opinion on this. I've talked to a few other folks about filing of documents at the county level. It's my understanding, you guys tell me what you think, it's my understanding that the only documents that need to be filed in the county in which you or your straw person resides would be real estate related. Anything else could be filed in any county. What do you guys think about that?
Basically, that's correct.
Okay. I know for a fact that Clark County and White Pine County in Nevada will take pretty much any filing that you want to file there. And there's several counties in Georgia that will take filings, whatever it is you want to file, they will take.
Yeah. What's that, Lamar County? They'll take almost everything.
Yes, I can look it up. If you're going to give me a time, I can look it up. But I know in Nevada it's White Pine and Clark. Clark, I believe, is Las Vegas, and White Pine is, I think it's a town called Ely. I know White Pine will because I've filed over there, and it's not an issue now. In the Tim Turner docs, there's also mention of another website that's kind of like the one you spoke of earlier, and I believe it's called National Republic Registry, and you can register your docs by mailing them to them. They put them online, sends you back the original docs, and you get a URL where your docs are contained, and then you do an affidavit listing all the documents that are filed, noticing on the affidavit where they are in the public, which would be that URL. You either notarize or witness the signature to that affidavit, and you can file that in the county and then get a LIBOR number on that document. You guys, do you recommend that process as being valid or no?
Okay, now, if you can get the county to accept that, then that would be viable. Actually, Tim Turner, they on one of their sites, they advertise the Get Notice also. But you can do the same thing with Get Notice that you do with the Great Registry, except it's much cheaper.
Extremely cheap.
Get Notice is much cheaper than the National Registry.
Well, I would tend to disagree. It depends on how many documents you're filing for how long. I just came off of that site last night, and it's either a monthly fee of $10 a month for a year, which is $120 plus $30 a year thereafter, or it's $100 for a year and then $30 thereafter. National Republic Registry is a flat $8 for the first page of each document and $2 thereafter, and then $2 for each page of certified copies that you order. So I guess it all depends on which way you look at that. But they're both real viable, seems to me.
Well, if you're only going to do a minimum amount of filing, yes, it would be cheaper to use the registry. But for me, doing a lot, no, that would be way too expensive.
See, Get Notice gives you $20 when you sign up, and it's only $2 per doc after that, and they have no page limit.
Well, I'm going to have to look at their site again and read it again because I was on their site last night or night before last, and where I saw pricing, it suggested that it was $100 a year for the $100 for the first year and $30 thereafter, or $10 a month for the first year and $30 thereafter. So I did not see anything about page about numbers of pages and stuff like that. But I'll look at that again.
Yeah, there is no limit. There's no limit to the pages.
And another thing, you can send it by PDF. You don't have to mail it.
You can do it right out of the comfort of your home.
Yep.
Oh, you can file your documents with Get Notice by PDF without mailing them.
That's correct.
That's correct. Scan them into your computer.
Yeah, that's one difference because the other company, the National Republic Registry, I believe it's called, you have to mail them to them and then they mail them back to you. But in either case, I would think that you'd be able to do the affidavit that lists out the documents, lists where they're found in the public, sign that, and file that with the county, and that would have and you'd get your LIBOR number. That would in effect be your county registration of the documents.
I would agree. I would agree with that.
I'll try to find one of you guys' emails or whatever. I'll try to put that together, the information on those counties that I know of. I know one of the guys with Rice McLeod's group a couple of years ago, Reggie, the guy passed away, sent me an email that listed several counties in Georgia, and apparently there's some, I've heard speak of some in Tennessee, I believe, as well. So, okay, great. There might be another caller who wants to throw something in there. Thanks, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you, Frog.
All right. Want to take another one?
Go for it.
All right. PLB, PhD, you've been unmuted. Can you hear us?
This is Patton, PA. Can you hear me?
Patton, PA, I can hear you.
Okay. We have in our county what's called a county registry newsletter, and it lists all the tax sales that's put out by the county, and it also has notices in there. And this is put out monthly. Now, would this be, being it was put out by the county and it gives this type of information, would this be public notice?
Yes, it would be.
Because it's only like $3.50 a month to subscribe to it, and I think it only costs $6 or something like that to put a notice in. You have to do it 3 times. But I imagine other counties have that and other states have that also. I'd also like to know how to get a hold of Harold.
I am so swamped. It's unreal.
Well, Harold, several months back, we were going to get together, and I sent a notice to the Free Americans, and never got anything back from anybody.
Matthew?
Yes, Harold.
Get his message?
You know, Tim sure is being quiet over there, but Tim set that website up, and he and I have been working it, but I've only been touching it for probably the last 6 to 8 weeks.
Oh.
I can help with this. I was just tending to my daughter there. You sent an email. What information do you need exactly?
Well, it was information on a process that was done by Denny Harden, where we sent a promissory bonded note in.
Okay.
Of course, I got information back from them that they wouldn't accept it, and I've got a complicated situation. I don't want to take up a lot of time of your call because I got 2 first mortgages because I was originally in with Curtin Scott at Dorian Group, and I refinanced the house after it was supposed to have been cleared, and I got a notice back. I got a letter back from the first mortgage company saying, congratulations on paying off your mortgage. 3 months later, they start sending me bills again and then saying they're not going to accept it. And, of course, we never got the bond back or anything. But now they're going to court, and they're fighting over taking first place again so they can foreclose on me again.
Okay. You might want to listen to the call again. And if you would to reorganize the trust and stipulate that the trust will now accept commercial instruments also, and then have them to apply the form of payment to the account. Because what they did is they accepted the payment, but they didn't credit the account.
They absolutely accepted it.
Yeah, because they accepted Curtin Scott's surety bond, and we never got that back. And then here, years later, we send another one in through Denny Hardin, and they kept that, but then they refused. They said they refused to take it.
Well, if they refused to take it, they were supposed to send it back. Number one, they had 72 hours whether they accept or reject. After the 72 hours, it was accepted with intent to retain, so therefore you can deem that it was accepted, number one. However, they did not necessarily have to credit it to the account based on your mortgage or trustee.
Right, I understand that.
Okay, so now, if you would go in and reorganize the trust and then allow for it to accept those commercial instruments and tell them to close out the account based on the prior payment. And it was ironic because we were discussing getting together with Denny Hardy because we saw that was the missing piece to his process. Because once you declare the trust and allow it to accept commercial instruments, he can go to work all day.
Well, he's on vacation for 5 years, so it's hard to tell.
No, I heard he might be getting out very soon.
I hope so. I've been praying for him. In any case, if I send a email to the Free Americans, will Harold get back to me?
Well, one of the guys will have to forward the information to me.
I'll take care of that. I'll take that responsibility. This is Matthew.
Or I can give you my email, like I did before. I can give you my email over the phone. I even had 3 or 4 other people call me up or email me.
Yeah, see, that's why I don't want to give out my email because I get flooded.
Well, I'll be glad to give mine if you want to write it down and just send me something.
I'll write it down, Pat. Go ahead. Go ahead, Pat.
Pat, P-A-T, Bateman, B-A-T-E-M-A-N, the number 2, at netzero.net.
All right. I'll get that over to Harold.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks, Pat. We got any other callers tonight that have questions? Go ahead and hit *8 on your phone, and it'll pop up on the screen here. It's about 8:30. We've been going for about an hour and a half, so if we don't have any more callers, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. All right, Harold, it looks like we solved everything and answered everybody's questions.
Tim.
Yes.
I think you had some questions, didn't you?
I only have the question that you and I talked about on Skype a couple days ago. That because my mortgage company, I knew I was unable to pay when I lost my job, but I started the process early and I studied real hard and I finished the process out. But I revoked my signature, and then I did that declaration that you and I worked on.
Okay.
So I guess that's where, and that's, I kind of emailed this question already. I kind of told you that I'm without trustees. So we never reappointed one. We removed them, and I put myself in the beneficiary position. But did I reopen the trust now? If I've already collapsed it by rescinding my signature?
Okay, so you rescinded the signature and zeroed out the account, correct?
Correct.
Okay, well, there's no need for a trust on that account.
So do you think that I should undo the declaration that I did?
Why would you want to undo it?
Because it was toward the end of the process. After a quick claim into a trust, after the receiver, it was in the end after everything was done. See what I'm saying?
Okay, I'm trying to remember your case now. You're saying that you did all of those steps before declaring the trust.
Right. I mean, we can talk about this another time. It's not a big deal, but you see where I'm at with it. I'm wondering. Obviously, I shouldn't be at this point taking the attorney. They never moved to foreclose or anything. I guess I clean sweep them, but I don't think I should appoint. I don't think I should appoint the attorney that was writing me threatening letters and the bank officer trustees at this point. I did the declaration,
Let me
but
ask,
I didn't. I left myself without a trustee.
let me ask you this. Did you do the 1099-A?
No.
I would recommend that doing the 1099-A and B, and then you may want to do the GSA forms for the public side. The 1099-A and B would be for the private side, and then you do the public side, so to make sure that anything that's straggling out there is taken care of.
Okay. I may Skype you in a day or so when maybe you can breathe. When you have time. Well, that was pretty much all I had, and that's pretty much it. I was hoping there was going to be some OID questions tonight, but that's fine.
Yeah, it didn't look like we had any of those, did it?
No, that's like my biggest hope right now of getting that OID. But man, it's looking bleaker and bleaker all the time.
Well, if we don't have any other questions, then we're going to go ahead and wrap it up for the night. So, thank you for everyone who participated on the call tonight. We will resume again next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And we should have Dave back with us. And we will have another exciting call. So, again, thank you, everyone. Go ahead and tell your friends about us and about our weekly call. There's a lot of good questions, a lot of good information that gets passed back and forth on the call. That's it. God bless. Good night.
All right. Good night.
See you guys.
See you, Tim.